I'm here today to help you, well, actually just show you a little something about doing t-shirts, but it's basically on you to do it. You can do whatever you want. We provided you with some stencils on the table. So those stencils, you can use the paint, and I'll show you in just a second how to do that, to put the paint on, and then you're going to apply the paint into that little area that's open there. Then you have a little guideline. You can remove the stencil, and then you can start to paint colors inside and all those things too on the picture that you're doing. Typically, you start with black with this, so you have a little outline, and then you can paint the color on the inside of the outline that you have from that, okay? But first, before we do that, again, my name is TJ Walker. I'm one of the co-founders of Cross Colors, the clothing brand. The other founder is Carl Jones. We started the brand in 1989, so I'm going to give you a little bit of history on the brand, and then we're going to dive into doing the t-shirts, okay? So with Cross Colors, it started in 1989. We have a brand that was, the brand was based on pretty much the hip hop music industry, was very influential with the brand, but also the colors were very vibrant with the brand too as well. And so when we started the brand, we started with the intent of doing something that was going to be more than just a clothing line. It was also something that was going to motivate people. And we honestly didn't know all this when we started the brand, but it just kind of happened when we started it. And a lot of things happened with us that were organic with the brand, which means they just happened by happenstance, and we just made a lot of mistakes that kind of worked out okay. Because we really didn't know what we were doing all of the time, for sure. So this is my business partner and me, Carl Jones, myself, and the dog that's there. This is actually a remake of a picture that we did in the 90s, but we remade it recently in the 2000s just to kind of duplicate a hang tag that we had put on all of our clothing back in the 90s. We put that on our clothing to let people know that there were two black men making clothing, because people were doubtful that we were actually even the owners of the company at the time. And even still today, there's some doubt about that as well. But I can assure you that we own the company and own the brand. So now back in the 90s, people that wore the clothing, we had everyone from Will Smith, who was one of the first people to wear our clothing on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We had Magic Johnson, Tupac, we had Snoop, we had Dre, we had Marky Mark. Even Muhammad Ali came through our factory, and we gave him a jacket back in the day as well. So these individuals wore the clothes in the 90s, and some of them who are still with us today are wearing the clothes now in the 2000s. So fast forward now today. The people that are wearing the clothes, Chris Brown, we have Drake, we have Zoe Kravitz, we have Future, Rihanna, Nelly, and a host of other people too, including Cardi B and Bruno Mars as well. We have Billie Eilish also that wear the clothes also. These are some of the sketches of my original designs back in the 90s. Those are original sketches that are now on display in certain museums. Actually, the Netherlands actually has a exhibition of ours there that we just got back. We have another exhibition coming up in Paris in December, December 17th exactly for that. And we'll be displaying these type of artifacts, which are the original sketches. And if you look over here next to that jacket, the face-to-face jacket, you see that sketch of that label there. That was the first sketch that was done for our label that we were doing. And our clothing line was actually called Cross Cultures in the beginning. But we changed the name because we saw a conflict with the name with another brand. And that's something you really have to be careful about when you're starting a brand, to make sure that you really own that name and have the rights to that. Otherwise, somebody else will take ownership of everything you have or everything you've done. So with that, we changed the name to Cross Colors, which to me was more appropriate anyway, because of the thing we were trying to, or the issues we were trying to address back in the 90s, which were from a lot to do with the gang violence at the time. And for us, you know, going after being unified and education and uplifting in terms of empowering the youth, it was great for us because the cross colors meant that we were crossing the colors even of the gangs that identified with the different colors. We were trying to get them to cross colors as well, to unify. These are some of the original sketches that I did back in the 90s. Everything was done by hand, so all this was done by hand. And you can see there the Speak Your Mind t-shirt graphic that's there, which was done also back in the 90s. And that is the title of what we're doing today, Speak Your Mind. because that's what we're all about with Cross Colors and continue to be about today. Here are some of the photos that we did in the desert out in California back in the 90s. This was so powerful for us back in the 90s that we actually duplicated that same shoot using different models today. The model that you see there wearing the orange outfit there, she was our model back in the 90s. We recreated the photo shoot a few months ago, and her daughter was actually in the photo shoot, which was great. It was such a full circle moment for all of us, for her daughter to actually model for us. Here are some more pictures of other people that wore the product back in the 90s and some for today. TLC, as you see up there, they were very instrumental with our product, especially as far as the females are concerned. Because before they wore the product, people didn't really understand that it was a female line as well. We didn't. So I know other people didn't as well. But when they wore the product and put it on and merchandised it and put it on a certain way and wore it, other females wore the product as well and were inspired to wear it also, which was great for us. It's like what they're saying today about doing clothing that has no boundaries. We called it unisex back in the 90s, but now it's called non-binary and all the other things, diversity, inclusion. All those words they use today are the things that we basically were hitting on back in the 90s, but didn't really know it. Here, more celebrities that wore the clothes. Again, Cardi B, Bruno Mars. And Cardi B and Bruno Mars are very important, particularly Bruno Mars, because when they wore the clothing on the Grammys, it really let people know that we were back. And at that time, people were like, well, are they back? And we were already in stores at that time, but with them coming out at the Grammys, it really highlighted the brand and made sure that people understood that we were back as a clothing brand. We also have some new things that we do with our brand now, because we've been back now about 5 years. We've been back about 5 years. We're in Zoomies, we're in Foot Locker, we're in Champs, we're in Nordstrom's. These retailers that we weren't even in the 90s, we're in today, which is great, because they want to see lines that are from people of color in their establishments now. And they reached out to us, which is so unlike back in the past, so they could have that product in there. And not because it's a product by someone of color, but also because of the messaging around the product itself. Because we've always been about inclusion. Therefore, our tagline, which is clothing without prejudice, is still the tagline that we use today for our brand. And with that, it really made us really step for the forefront and do some other things too, which is this. We also have the license and the rights to use the image of Tupac, of Snoop Dogg, of E40, Aaliyah, and TLC, and some of the other members of the group as well. And we're working on others. But I think we're one of the ones that have the most licenses of those actual individuals that are doing production and shipping the product to retailers as well. These are current pictures, but you wouldn't be able to tell it almost, because we really wanted to make sure that we almost made it seamless for the new pictures as opposed to the old ones that we did before. So these are remake of a lot of the clothes we did in the 90s, because when we started to make the brand again, people were asking us, where are the clothes that you made in the 90s? Those are the things we want. So we have to go back to the drawing board and actually start to make those clothes again. Here are more photos of the items again that we did that we remade. These are current photos from a model we have, Jason. Here is an article that was in Vogue magazine a few years ago. And this, the young man that's out front there in all black with the leather jacket on, his name is Kirby Jean Ramon. He is the owner and designer of Pure Moss. That is a clothing line that he owns, and he's connected with Reebok. He did some shoes that are outstanding, but you should look his brand up if you don't know about him. But what he did with this ad, he was asked by Vogue magazine to get his community and take a picture. And so he asked myself and Carl Jones and Dapper Dan, who, if you don't know who he is, you should look him up. He's an amazing designer out of Brooklyn, out of New York. So you need to, and with that, he brought us in along with him to do the photo shoot, and it was amazing. But with that too, it also helped us to come back. But this is a sign of the things that we need to do as a culture, as a people, and just as in general. He took it upon himself to bring others along with him to be highlighted. He wasn't selfish in his moves. He was inclusive, which is great. Here are just some more ads with myself and Carl Jones, the way we look now. And here are some things that people typically with brands now, they do collaborations, which means that they go to other brands and they do like a collection with them. We did it with Pierre Moss, we did it with the Hundreds, and we did it also with some other brands too as well. And these were things that help us to lift the brand up and also to get other eyes on the brand too as well. And it's working together to do things. This is important because it's a shot of the product that Bruno Mars himself, along with Mitchell and Ness and Cross Colors, collaborated on again with his tour. His tour went all around the world, and everywhere he stopped, the product was there. So again, it gave exposure to the brand, and it was a way of marketing and branding the product. And he did that on his own. The next thing we knew, it was on billboards, it was on street signs, it was on all these things, and he did that after going on the Grammys because he said his team was so emotional when they were able to wear the clothes. And that's why he wanted to actually help us out with the product. This gives you an idea of the product we do with the licenses. This is Tupac. These are some of our best sellers here, especially that sweatshirt there with 3 faces on it. And we also have HBCU product. The HBCU product is something that we started with the clothing line, but also it started at Howard University, and now it's in more schools, not just the HBCUs, but even other colleges as well, are part of our mentorship program that we have with Cross Colors, the clothing brand. We have programs that we send the students through. They basically almost kind of graduate from the program, and then many of them are working with us still and actually being paid on salary from us to secure our social media platforms and other things too that we have. My business partner and I, we realized early on if we were going to start this back again, which is about 5 years ago, we couldn't do it. We definitely couldn't do it. We're too old, to be frank. Because with things moving so fast and how the youth navigate today, we have to have the youth involved in what we're doing and how we're moving. And we made a conscious effort to do that, and we'll continue to do that as well. Here's just some things that we did in the community as far as going to schools, going to do food drives, all those different things too, going to colleges and schools, high schools, and doing some things. And that is it for my little presentation here for Cross Colors. So, Cross Colors is a brand that's back today. It's in, like I said, Nordstrom's, it's in Zumiez, it's in other retailers as well. But today, we are here for a workshop. We're here for a workshop for t-shirts, and it's called Speak Your Mind. So with this, there are no rules with these shirts, okay? There is no, I'm an instructor too, but I won't grade you today. So everybody gets an A today. But all you have to do is do your designs. And with this too, you'll see my amazing, I won't say assistants, because Stacy here is the curator for the museum. She curates all the shows. She's responsible for the exhibition next door. She's the one that put it all together, along with LaQuinton, who isn't here, I don't think, but they are so important to the Max. And the Max has been so helpful, and everyone here has been so nice in terms of supporting the collection and supporting the exhibition, and I know they're going to support a lot of other things for the community. So this won't be the last time you'll be here, so you'll have to come back and enjoy it if you haven't already before. So now they're putting water out on the table for you. This water is for you to clean your brushes, and also the plates that you have there are for you to squeeze a little paint on them so you can mix that and so you can paint with that. The stencils that you have. There are stencils on the table. You can pick whichever one you want. Now these stencils, you're going to put that down. You're going to take your brush, or if you have a sponge or a brush or whatever that is, and you're going to paint into the little groove that's there. That's going to transfer the paint to the area that you want to select. We did the stencils to kind of help you instead of you having to draw everything, but you can draw, you can do whatever you want, but these are just to help you with the process as well. I'll come around to the tables and I'll work with each one of you to show you and guide you. So we want to squeeze paint into the plates here. Let's see, is it open? Yeah. There's a little seal on the paint. All right. Let's put that out there. But I suggest you start with black first. Start with black so you can get your outline done. So use the stencils and do your outline with it. You can start with any color, but I would suggest black, but you don't have to start with that, because then that means you'll have an outline, and then you can come back and paint inside of the black outline that you have to have your, after you have your little drawing. So basically, like you have your drawing down, and then you're going to add your color to it. Okay. All right, we'll put a little over here. And you can always get more. All right, who wants to start? Great. Now show you. Now show her, and then you guys can follow along after. Don't be afraid of the paint. It's not gonna do anything to you. So what you're gonna do is go into the grooves and paint like that, okay? All right? And try to hold it down too so that it doesn't move too much, because you don't want it to move around, because if it moves around, then you're gonna have, it'll smear. And you can put a little water in it too if you want to kind of make it a little creamier if you want, but it may be okay. Oh yeah, that should be fine. Yeah. And you know, Stacy, do we have any tape? Because I want them to stationary their stencils on the shirts, because it'll keep it from kind of moving around. Oh, here's a little piece here. Okay, let me just show you. We're going to put a little piece of tape like that. Now, that should hold it a little taut for you so it doesn't move. Okay, there you go. Probably need a piece down at the bottom too. Let's do this. I'll get another piece. And let me come show you. I'll come show you. Yeah, put a piece on the bottom and the top. Yeah. There you go. That should be better. Got it? Okay. So, all right. Let me see. So what we're going to do is put a little tape to kind of position them. That'll help because they kind of move around. I just realized that when I was walking around. There you go. All right. And now, once you have that, so and then all you do is you come in and you just paint like this. Because what's going to happen is going to fill in the groove. Just like that. Got it? All right. Did you see that?
So you based out of New York?
I'm based out of Los Angeles.
Okay, I was out there last year at Lamar
really?
Park, man.
Oh, Lamar Park.
Lamar Park, yeah, for the first time.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And you can, the tape you can peel up, okay? You can reuse it over, again and again. So.
I had bought some shirts from you long ago.
Oh, really? Back in the 90s?
Yeah. I had one in school. And they say, where'd you get the car shirt from? I said, I got it from Mall.
Uh-huh. Did you get it from like merry-go-round or DJs or something?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm from Tumsuma.
You from where?
Tumsuma. Suma. Yeah, of course. No, I'm not famous. I'm just a country boy. So I tape it down so it won't move around. Okay. Oh, he's doing a good job. Yeah, that'll help too, so it doesn't move. Let's put one on the other side too. No, no. There you go. Hey, Gladys! Oh my God!
So good to see you.
Good to see
So
you.
good.
Oh my gosh, you look amazing. Love your hair. Love your hair. Oh, it's good to see you. This is great. Great. I'm going to leave a couple more pieces just in case. Good. Yep. Good? What's that? No, you can't mess up. No, you don't mess up. Just keep going. We good. It's okay if you go outside the line. You know what I mean? Onto the plastic. Just go ahead and just paint. Yeah. You good. How are we doing over here? It started at 1. Oh, well, it's actually 1:30. We just started. So who was telling you that? Oh, wonderful. Oh, look at this. I love it. They got it. Yes. Mm-hmm. Or you can take it up pretty much right away. Just let it dry a little bit. Yeah. That's like glitter in it, huh? Yeah. Ooh, it's got glitter in it. Oh, it's fine. Yeah. I think the dryers though, you know what? Before you take it up, let's hit it with the dryer. Yeah. Let's plug the dryers up and then as they get done, just hit it with that and then we'll take it up. Yeah. Do we need tape over here? Yes, we do. Mm-hmm. Yes, because it's kind of slippery on that shirt. Yes. Do we have green and red? Oh, we need to get you some green. Let me go grab you some. So we'll put this down. Oh, wait, where is it in position? More like that, more like that. Okay. And there.
So like, it's okay if it gets
It's okay. Sorry. I'm not grading you today.
today.
Tomorrow, yes. But today, you good. No, it's just today. Actually, I'll be on an airplane tomorrow. So there you go. That'll keep it a little stable. Okay. Let me put some more in there. Let me put down one And you can move this tape, you know, you can use it again if you want, if you need to, but. And I'm gonna put an extra piece there, just in case. Ooh, look at that. Okay. Yeah, you can wet it a little bit if you want to, just a little bit of water. Okay. Ooh, it's looking good. It's you. She let you down here. Calm down. Like, it ain't Snoop Dogg. Let me go and grab some green for you. Borrow this for just a second.
See, I had to get the old lady and the young lady.
Let's see. Does it come out?
I'm gonna say it's green. I was looking for
Ooh.
teal.
Ooh.
You gonna get
You
on
can
there and make a mess.
put a little blue in it.
Okay, now that's teal.
Oh, there's plugs under there, huh? Here's some green. But you can, yeah, but you can add white to it. Yeah, so just add a little white to it. We need some brown, right? Let's see here. Just put it on the table over here. Just put it on the table over there.
When you get a chance, the judges team, since they're late, they just want a little instruction. from
Okay,
you.
no problem. Okay, here's your brown, right there. Okay. Yes. A what? Oh, chef. Little. Oh yeah, I'll be right there. I'll give you some one-on-one in just a sec. Here you go. Do you want this? Do you want this, or you want a little girl, or you want this? Stop. You want the shoe? Okay. Oh, yeah, but let me come over there in just a sec. I'm going to show you, okay? Okay. I'll get you set up here. There's your shirt. So you can start painting on that. You're going to show her how to paint it? Perfect. Thank you. All right, ladies. Oh, you got